This matter between Asari Dokubo and President Tinubu is one that has really shaken the political space in Nigeria. Asari Dokubo, a man who has always been loud, bold, and never afraid to speak his mind, has come out to say that he feels betrayed by the president he once supported. He is not just keeping this to himself, he is declaring that he is ready to form an alliance with the North against Tinubu. And that kind of statement in Nigeria is not a small thing. My people, before we go deeper, make sure you like this video and also subscribe to the channel, because here we give you the gist the way you will understand it, straight to the point, no confusion. Now, for those who may not know, Asari Dokubo is from the Niger Delta, an Ijaw man, and for years he has been a major voice when it comes to politics, oil matters, and the treatment of the Niger Delta region. He used to be a militant leader back in the day, later dropped arms, and has since been involved in politics, activism, and public commentary. So he has supported different leaders at different times, but one thing about him is that he doesn't hide his feelings when he feels disrespected. He was loud during the time of Obasanjo, loud during Goodluck Jonathan's time, and now under Tinubu, he is once again speaking out. Please don't forget, as we go on with this gist, to like this video and subscribe, because your support helps us bring more of these updates to you. Asari Dokubo said clearly that Tinubu betrayed him. He claims that during the 2023 election, he threw his full weight behind Tinubu, mobilized, spoke out, and gave his support to see him become president. He now says that after Tinubu won, instead of being carried along or appreciated, he was sidelined and ignored. In his words, he feels like after helping the president climb, he was abandoned. This is where the anger is coming from. He is not stopping there. He has said he is ready to join forces with the North, the same North that has huge political weight to fight against Tinubu in the 2027 election. Remember to hit the like button and also subscribe while listening, because this is just getting interesting and you don't want to miss the full story. Now let us reason this together. In Nigerian politics, alliances are very powerful. The North alone has numbers, the Southwest has influence, the Niger Delta has resources and agitation power. When someone like Asari says he wants to align with the North, it is a signal that he is trying to create a new political front, one that could challenge Tinubu's dominance come the next election. But the big question is, how realistic is this? Can Asari Dokubo really bring the Niger Delta votes in such a way that will shake the foundation of Tinubu's support base? Make sure you like this video and subscribe as we break it down for you. Already some groups have responded to his statements. The Udo People's Congress, which is strong in the Southwest, has warned him to be careful with his words. They said his comments about Yoruba people and Tinubu are dangerous and can cause division. They reminded him that one man cannot speak for an entire ethnic group, and they cautioned him not to use his anger against a person to insult a whole people. This shows you that his words are already shaking the table and people are reacting. And you too, I want to hear your reaction. So while you are liking this video and subscribing, also drop your opinion in the comment section. Do you think Asari Dokubo can truly build this alliance? Or is it just talk to get attention from the president? Let us not forget the risks here. When you declare battle against a sitting president, you are putting yourself on the front line. First, your credibility is tested. Some people will see him as a strong man who is fearless, while others will see him as someone who is simply bitter because he did not get what he wanted. Second, you risk losing your own support base. Some Ijaw people may stand with him, but others may feel like aligning with the North against the Southern president is betrayal. And third, in Nigeria, politics is not just about shouting. You need structures, you need allies, you need funding, you need state leaders, you need governors, and you need the grassroots. Asari Dokubo has influence, yes, but does he have that nationwide structure? That is the big question. And as we continue with this gist, please, once again, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, because your support really helps us keep this conversation going. Now, why would Asari take such a strong stance? There are possible reasons. Number one, he may be trying to regain relevance. Maybe he feels the Tinubu government is ignoring him, So by making a loud statement, he forces people to pay attention. Number 2, it could be negotiation tactics. By threatening to join the North, he puts pressure on Tinubu's camp to maybe call him, talk to him, and offer him something in return for his silence or support. Number 3, it could be early positioning for 2027. In politics, people make moves years ahead, and maybe he wants to secure himself as a power broker by attaching himself to whichever opposition is rising from the North. Number 4, it could simply be his personal frustration spilling into the public. Please make sure you like this video and subscribe because we are going deeper. Now, let us look at the national impact. If alliances like this become real, then it means 2027 will not just be a normal election. It will be one where new forces come up. Remember, Nigeria's elections are not only about parties, but about regional power blocks. If the Niger Delta and the North somehow work together, that could shift the balance of power away from the Southwest, where Tinubu is strongest. But, and this is important, alliances in Nigeria are not easy. The North itself is divided. There are northern leaders who have their own interests, their own ambitions. For Asari to say he will form alliance with the North is broad. It is like saying you will form alliance with a whole continent. Which northern leaders, which governors, which parties, which interests? That is the detail that is not yet clear. And let's be honest, Nigerian politics is full of this kind of talk. People declare, people threaten, people say they will form alliances, but at the end of the day, deals happen behind closed doors, and people often change positions. So it is possible that this is just another loud statement that may not turn into real action. Still, the fact that it is being said at all is important because it shows that not everyone who supported Tinubu is still happy. And that in itself can affect the president's image. If a strong supporter is now his loudest critic, it may embolden others to also speak out. Don't forget, as you are listening, to like this video and subscribe because this gist is not ending here. We are still unpacking more. Now, let us talk about the reactions more deeply. You see, once Asari Dokubo made those statements, it was not only OPC that reacted. A lot of Nigerians on social media also jumped into the conversation. Some people said he is only making noise because he did not get contracts from the government. Some others argue that he is raising real issues because they also feel left out under this administration. So it's like a divided opinion. One side sees him as bitter, the other side sees him as bold. And in Nigerian politics, perception matters a lot. Sometimes perception can even be more powerful than reality. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe now, so we can keep growing this conversation together. Now, let us go back in history a little bit because this will help you understand why the Niger Delta voice is very strong in Nigeria. Since the discovery of oil, the Niger Delta has been at the center of Nigeria's economy. The oil that runs the country comes from that region, but the people there have often complained of being neglected, exploited, or cheated. That is why militancy came up in the first place. People like Asari Dokubo became popular because they were seen as defenders of the Niger Delta's interest, fighting against what they saw as injustice. Over time, these fighters dropped arms, but the anger and the demand for justice remained. So when someone like Asari speaks today, he is not just speaking as an individual, he is speaking as someone who symbolizes that history of agitation. Please like this video, subscribe, and keep watching because the story is far from finished. Now let us talk about alliances in Nigerian history. This is very important because when Asari says he wants to align with the North, we need to look at how alliances have shaped Nigeria before. In 1999, when democracy returned, the North and the Southwest had to come to an agreement that brought Olusegun Obasanjo to power, even though he had just come out of prison. In 2015, the North and the Southwest formed an alliance under APC, which led to Goodluck Jonathan losing power to Muhammadu Buhari. These alliances are never random. They are carefully negotiated deals, and when they hold, they can change the country's direction completely. So, when Dokubo now talks about joining forces with the North, He is pointing at something that has worked before, but the question is, does he have the capacity to make it work again? Remember, as we are asking these questions, like this video and subscribe, because we are unpacking history and present issues for you in one gist. Another important angle is that Nigerian elections are not won by noise. They are won by numbers. The North has numbers, yes, but the Niger Delta does not have as many votes compared to other regions. What it has is oil wealth and moral voice. So if Dokubo wants to be relevant, he would need to not only speak loudly, but also rally other leaders in the Delta and then connect them with influential politicians in the North. Without that, this talk of alliance may just remain in the air. And don't forget, politics is also about trust. Will Northern politicians really trust Dokubo enough to build with him? Or will they see him as someone just looking for relevance? Again, don't forget to like this video and subscribe because we are still breaking this down for you. Now let's look at Tinubu himself in this matter. Tinubu is not new to political battles. For decades, he has fought and survived in politics. From his time as governor of Lagos to his role in forming APC, to helping Buhari come to power, and finally becoming president himself. Tinubu is a master of survival. So for Dokubo to say he wants to take him down, it will not be easy. Tinubu has structures, he has allies, he has money, and he knows how to negotiate. If anything, Tinubu may decide to either ignore Dokubo completely or find a way to neutralize him by making peace behind closed doors. Nigerian politics is full of reconciliation moves. Today you see two people fighting, tomorrow you see them smiling together. So this may not even last until 2027, but if it does, then it will become one of the biggest political showdowns of our time. Please, if you are enjoying this breakdown, like this video and subscribe to the channel right now. Now let us consider how this matter could affect the ordinary Nigerian. You see, most times, these big political fights are about power, positions, and influence. But the people on the street are more concerned about food prices, security, fuel, jobs, and electricity. The question we should all ask is, how does this Dokubo versus Tinubu drama help the everyday Nigerian? Does it bring cheaper food? Does it bring more jobs? Does it improve the Niger Delta? Many will argue that it doesn't. But politics in Nigeria always affects the common man indirectly. If alliances shift, if the government feels pressured, policies may change, appointments may change, and resources may be redirected. So while it may look like a fight at the top, the ripple effect will always touch the ground. Please like this video and subscribe so that you can stay updated as we connect these dots for you. Now, I want us to talk about 2027 specifically. Nigerian elections always start years before the official campaign begins. Already, different camps are strategizing. Tinubu will want to go for a second term. That's almost certain. The North may also want power back because for 8 years under Buhari, it was theirs. And now under Tinubu, the South has it. Many Northern leaders may feel it is time to bring it back to their zone. So Dokubo may be trying to tap into that sentiment by presenting himself as a Southern ally to Northern ambitions. If he can convince Northern leaders that he can help deliver parts of the South, then he becomes useful to them. But will they take him seriously? That is the gamble. Again, while we are talking, don't forget to like this video and subscribe because this 2027 talk is where things get even more interesting. Another angle to watch is the role of other Niger Delta leaders. Dokubo is not the only voice from that region. There are governors, ex-governors, traditional rulers, and other militants who have dropped arms. If they join him, his alliance talk becomes louder. But if they keep quiet or even side with Tinubu, then he may be isolated. So the unity of the Niger Delta voice will play a big role here. Will they see him as their champion or as someone chasing personal interest? That's a key question. Please, if you are watching and listening, like this video, subscribe, and also share it because this is a conversation Nigerians need to be part of. Now let us move into how the North might react to Asari Dokubo's alliance plan. You see, the North in Nigerian politics is not one united bloc that moves with one voice. It is a region with many parts: Northwest, Northeast, North Central. And within those areas, you have governors, you have religious leaders, you have former generals, you have business elites, and you also have the grassroots voters. Each of these groups has their own interest. So when someone says, I will align with the North, the big question is, which part of the North? Because convincing one governor is not the same as convincing the entire North. Now, let's take an example. In the Northwest, you have states like Kano, Kaduna, Katsina. These are highly populated states that often decide elections. For Asari Dokubo to build an alliance there, he would need the buy-in of powerful political players. Right now, many of those players are either in APC or PDP, or they are waiting to form new parties. Without their backing, his voice may not carry far. Then, in the Northeast, states like Borno and Yobe are heavily influenced by figures like the Shehu of Borno and other long-standing politicians. Again, Asari does not have that network there yet. And in the north-central places like Benue, Plateau, and Kogi, the politics is more mixed, sometimes swinging to the south, sometimes to the north. So you see, this alliance talk is easier said than done. Please don't forget, while we are analyzing all this, to like this video and subscribe to the channel so that you will always stay updated. Another thing we must consider is how northern voters see Asari Dokubo himself. In the north, he is not necessarily a household name, in the same way Tinubu, Atiku, or even Kwankwaso are. He is known more in the south, especially the Niger Delta. So for him to really influence northern politics, he would have to spend time, energy, and resources building that recognition. This is not something that can be done overnight, and 2027 is only about 2 years away. That is not a long time in politics, but here is another interesting angle. Sometimes in Nigerian politics, it is not the person who talks the loudest that carries the biggest weight. It is the person who can play behind the scenes. If Asari positions himself as a bridge between some Niger Delta voices and certain northern figures, even if he is not very popular up north, he may still become relevant in negotiations. And remember, elections are not just about popularity. They are also about deals, compromises, and power sharing. Don't forget again, like this video and subscribe, because these details are the ones that help you really understand the full picture. Now, what about Tinubu himself in the north? We all know Tinubu worked very hard to win votes from that region in 2023. He aligned with northern governors. He brought Kashim Shettima from Borno as his vice president, and he promised continuity after Buhari. For him, keeping that alliance strong will be very important for 2027. If Asari Dokubo is serious about building a northern alliance against him, Tinubu will not just fold his hands. He will fight to keep those northern structures loyal to him. And when it comes to negotiation, Tinubu is a master. He has shown that in Lagos, he has shown that at the national level. He knows how to give positions, appointments, and incentives to keep people on his side. So this will be a battle of strategy. One man trying to break in, another man trying to hold his ground. Now let's think about how ordinary Nigerians in the north might see this. For a farmer in Kano, or a trader in Sokoto, or a student in Maiduguri, the question is not, is Asari Dokubo fighting Tinubu? Their question is, will my life be better? Will food be cheaper? Will insecurity reduce? If Dokubo wants to be taken seriously, he will have to frame his message in a way that connects with those real issues, not just his personal grievances. This is where many politicians fail. They speak about betrayal and power, but they forget that voters want results. Please like this video and subscribe, because what we are breaking down here is not just political drama, it is about the future of ordinary Nigerians. Another important player in all of this is Atiku Abubakar. Remember, Atiku is from the north, and he has contested for president many times. Some people say 2023 was his last chance, but others believe he may still try in 2027 if Asari Dokubo truly wants to align with the north. Atiku could be one of the people he looks toward. But Atiku himself is facing fatigue. Many voters are tired of his repeated runs. Then you have Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso from Kano, who has his own loyal movement, the Kwankwasia. He is younger than Atiku, energetic, and still has grassroots love. If Dokubo wants to ride on northern strength, he may also look in Kwankwaso's direction. And then there are other rising figures who may step into the game. This shows you that 2027 may be one of the most unpredictable elections in Nigeria's history. Let us also not forget the role of religion. In the north, religion plays a big role in shaping political loyalty. Leaders from the Islamic community often have influence over voters. Dokubo, being from the Niger Delta and a Muslim himself, may try to use that identity to build bridges, but it is not guaranteed. It takes years of trust building to gain that kind of acceptance. Still, it could be part of his plan. Again, don't forget, while listening, please like this video and subscribe, because the deeper we go, the more connections you begin to see. Now let's flip this gist a little. Let us imagine for a moment that Dokubo's alliance works. Imagine that he convinces some Niger Delta leaders, brings them together, then convinces some northern blocs, and they all form a strong coalition. What does that mean for Tinubu? It would mean Tinubu may have to fight harder than he ever did before. It could also open space for new candidates to emerge, not just the old names we know. But let's also imagine that Dokubo's plan fails, that he talks and talks, but by 2027, nobody follows him. That would damage his reputation even further because people would then see him as someone who makes noise but cannot deliver. That is why this moment is critical for him. And now, let me put this question to you. Viewers, listeners, Nigerians everywhere, do you think Asari Dokubo truly has the capacity to shift Nigeria's political table? Or is this just a way to draw attention and force the government to recognize him? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and while you are doing that, please like this video and subscribe, because your engagement is what makes us continue this kind of detailed analysis.